This is Pav Bamber here for PSP Sports. We've also got
Shane Watson here from PSP Sports as well.
And on the line with us, we've got 17-0 undefeated WBC International Champion, Tom Doran. Tom, how are you, my friend? And thank you so much for talking to PSP Sports.
You're welcome, and I'm great. 3 weeks of fight, and buzzing.
Sounds good. I believe Shane's got the first question for you, Tom.
Okay.
Obviously, you've got your massive fight coming up against Chris Eubank Jr., and he's been under a lot of critical opinions lately, obviously with the Nick Blackwell fight. How's training gone for this fight, and what do you think the outcome of this fight's going to be?
Training's gone perfect. No distractions from my side. Obviously that's a massive positive.
Yeah.
How do I see it going? I see it being exciting, and I see it being a Doran win. The method of the win, I'm not 100% sure on.
Sure.
But I see a win.
Absolutely. Also, Tom, in Eubank's 23 or 24 fights had so far, the main blueprint, it seems, which is effective against Chris Eubank Jr., is the way Billy Joe Saunders fought him. Obviously, Billy Joe Saunders defeated him, and that method was to box and move, to keep things on, and to not get in close range with Eubank. Are you aware of this, and are you factoring this into your game plan?
I'm well aware of it. Yeah. Am I factoring it in? Well, I'm not going to give anyone my game plan, but
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, like I say, I'm well aware of it. He's a better fighter than he is a boxer.
Yeah,
and he can be outboxed.
Okay, and also another thing as well is that with the fight of the year contender you had with Luke Keeler, you fought him twice, you defeated him twice. That was an absolute war you've had with Keeler. Shows that you can give a punch. Shows that you can take a punch. Obviously, Chris Eubank Jr. as well. It seemed as though just like his father, he has quite a good chin. So, are you looking at these different sorts of things with the strengths that you have and the strengths that he has?
Yeah, I'm more about imposing my strengths on someone else rather than worrying about what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
And I don't study boxers too much. I'd rather just deal with what's coming back at me. People can change. Fight to fight. Who knows how he's going to even react to? Obviously, what happened in the last fight. So
sure.
So yeah, I'll just deal with what comes at me.
How are you going to be able to deal with the pressure of being on Sky pay-per-view and walking out to a sold-out O2 arena? How are you going to be able to deal with that?
I think I'll deal with it well. The last few fights I went at the Echo, in front of big crowds.
Sure.
I can't see it being too much of an issue.
Sounds good, and of course, I'm sure you've got Tom, as you've mentioned there. You fought at the Echo Arena previously, and you've also fought on Sky as well before. Obviously, from your camp and in your mind, you're obviously hoping to defeat Chris Eubank Jr. So, are you hoping to be on these kind of huge big shows again in the future? On the undercards of guys like Anthony Joshua, Dominic Brazil, and I'm sure, of course, headlining your own shows, Tom, in the future as well.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's what it's all about, isn't it? The reason I'm in the sport is to be on these big shows. I don't want to be fighting in leisure centres. As nice as it is to be, close to home and have a big home following.
Yeah,
this is what it's all about. The big shows. And I can't wait to to seize the opportunity.
Come fight week, it's expected you're probably going to have to deal with some mind games from Chris Senior and Chris Junior. Have you thought about how you're going to be able to deal with that? Or they're not going to be able to get into your head, or what?
I tend not to be let emotion come into my fight. At the end of the day, I'm not fighting. I don't see it as I'm fighting a Eubank. I'm fighting for the British title. It doesn't matter who's in front of me.
Sure.
That's the way I look at it.
You see, when you offered this fight, was it a fight you took straight away? Was it like a no-brainer, or was it something you had to put a lot of thought into?
We asked for the fight.
Okay.
We asked Caldwell to push for it, so.
Okay, sounds good. And Tom, also, I think it was yesterday, the AIBA announced that they were going to allow professional fighters in the Olympics, and also just today, the WBC have come out and said that they're going to ban any pro boxers for 2 years fighting for WBC titles if they go to Olympics. What's your opinion on pros being allowed in the Olympics, Tom?
I don't think it's a good choice, to be honest, to allow pros into the Olympics. Firstly, as a youngster coming up through the amateurs, that's obviously their dream, is to get to the Olympics, and then to possibly not even get through selection, because obviously they're up against top pros.
Sure.
I don't think it's the best move. And also, you could look at it. Imagine Gennady Golovkin against an amateur boxer.
Yeah.
I don't think the outcome's going to be too pretty, probably. So,
right.
So yeah, I don't think it's a good idea, really.
Sounds good. And of course, you just mentioned there Triple G. Obviously, Canelo's just beaten Khan for the WBC middleweight title. He's now vacated. So you've got, Canelo, Chris Eubank Jr., yourself, Gennady Golovkin, and Billy Joe Saunders, WBO champ. How would you assess the world middleweight scene as you see it, including guys with Billy Joe, Golovkin, and Canelo as well?
It's a pretty tasty division, isn't it? To be honest. Some massive fights to be made there. And I can't wait to get up amongst them.
Sounds good.
Obviously, you're managed by Dave Caldwell. I was going to say, how's your working relationship with Dave Caldwell? And do you want to be with him for the foreseeable future too?
Yeah, we've had a good relationship. Obviously, there's distance between us, but I don't need to be babysat through camp or anything like that. So we get on well. Got a good working relationship, and I'm happy. Dave, it's down to Dave that I've been getting these big fights. Prize fighter, and I'll get on the matchroom shows. So I'm grateful for that.
Absolutely, and Tom, also, generally with boxing pundits, other boxers, a lot of people say that Gennady Golovkin, pound for pound, is the number one fighter in the middleweight division in the world. Obviously, being a young fighter such as yourself, you've got aspirations to get to the top, and you've got aspirations to fight the best guys like Billy Joe and Golovkin. So, having said that, from your opinion and the boxing scene in general, do you think that Golovkin is this beast who he's portrayed to be, or do you see things in him that is beatable?
I think he is a phenomenal athlete, and a bit of a throwback, really, and just seems that nothing phases him. Just massive punches. He just they bounce off him, and he comes forward and then nails them with some of his own. But he is like you said yourself, he's just another human being.
Yeah.
But I think you need a mentally strong person to be able to get in the ring and not be intimidated by him. That's the trouble.
Sure.
Everyone's so intimidated. They've lost before the first bell goes.
Right.
So after this fight, obviously you're world ranked for the WBC now because you've got the WBC international title. If you do get past Chris Eubank Jr., you'll be ranked a lot higher in the WBC than afterwards as well. So is that the governing body you want to go down? If you get past Eubank?
Yeah, I like the old green belt there.
Yeah.
It's a nice one. And it seems they're quite I wouldn't say any of them are illegitimate, but really good fights to be made out there in the WBC.
For sure, and also arguably as well, Tom, at the moment, it's technically the one that's the most open, isn't it? Bearing in mind Canelo's vacated that title, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, of course.
Obviously, Chris Eubank and Eddie Hearn have been speaking on Sky Sports about future fights with Golovkin a lot recently. Do you think you're being overlooked in this fight?
Definitely, yeah. But it's to be expected from them. They've not only overlooked me, they've also kind of overlooked Gennady Golovkin, because they've also said that he'll then move up to super middle and then beat Jamie DeGale. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
he's taking big steps there, isn't he?
Okay, no, fair enough. And so Tom, in terms of your plans now up until June 25th, what's your plans going to be now from June 2nd now up until fight night, Tom?
Well, I've actually for the first time in my career, I've got time off work now, so I'm not back in work till after the 25th.
Right.
So that's a nice to have. So yeah, it's the preparation won't change much. I was in incredible condition for the 2nd of April fight,
Sure.
and I'm above and beyond what I was ready, for that. So yeah, I'll be more than ready by the 25th of June.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
I want to say thanks for talking to us, Tom. We really appreciate your time for this interview. And you've been very nice to talk to you. We wish you the best of luck for camp and the best of luck for fight night too. Thank
you very much, and you're welcome.
All the best, Tom. Also, can you just stay on the line for us, please, for 2 seconds, Tom? Guys, this has been Shane Watson and Pav Bambra here with Tom Doran, who fights on June the 25th against Chris Eubank Jr. Do like and subscribe. Thanks you very much. Thanks a lot again, Tom.
No problem, fellas.
Thank you.